Most MAGA influencers are corralled in group chats and unleashed on Twitter with positions, campaigns, and propaganda that they are hired for like any other content creator campaign. Most of these campaigns are paid by consulting firms that don't have to disclose these expenses to the FEC because they aren't considered a goods sold transaction. She goes on to say that 99% of...
And that's what, you know, a lot of these influencers and talking heads and stuff like that, you know, that's what they always accuse Democrats of, that it's bots, paid actors and things of that nature. And, you know, they're just telling on themselves, right? Not saying it doesn't exist. It exists on both sides, but one side is just screaming about it at, you know, from the top of the, you know, the rooftop, you know what I'm saying, then they're probably one of the more guilty parties, right? They're accusing the other side of doing this a lot more. And I mean, she's exposing that, yeah, no, that's what they've been doing the whole time. What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Trey.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Back at it with another video.
Another one.
First and foremost, thanks to everybody that's new to the channel, that's been subscribing. Really appreciate it. For those of y'all here for the first time, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm a new YouTuber and it's helping me to continue to grow and continue to get out there. For today, we're going to be reacting to a video from Really American Media. And they're talking about this TPUSA event out in Arizona. Pretty much, you know, got I believe they got it canceled. And yeah, me personally, I've said it before in previous videos, I can't stand the organization. So anytime they take an L, I'm happy. It's a good day for me. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video.
High school in North Phoenix is scheduled to host a special guest speaker next week, but it's stirring some controversy. It's the widow of Charlie Kirk, who was a major voice in conservative politics.
The event comes after Erica Kirk pulled out of an event on Tuesday because of her safety concerns.
Yo, I'm sorry, that intro is crazy. It's actually not funny that Erica Kirk is low-key trying to groom another whole-ass high school in Phoenix, but the way they just introed her feels like a bit out of the Drewski skit.
We have to protect all men in America, especially all white men in America. Those are the boys that we care about in this country. America is built on their backs.
Because Charlie Kirk's widow, as they so eloquently introed her on the local news here, sparked another high school revolt against her and the controversy-riddled turn.
So, you know, y'all let me know, with all the controversy surrounding the Turning Point organization, right? How they've been, you know, tied, like, or loosely tied into, well, not even loosely. They've been tied into all these, you know, when they leaking the racist text messages, people being racist in the text, and, you know, all these people that are being groomed for some sort of public office and things of that nature. Like, they go into these groups and that's their trajectory, right? You start off in one of these groups, Young Republicans, TPUSA, whatever, and then you work your way into, you know, local, state, you know, Congress or legislature, you know, whatever office. And the fact that they're trying to go into high schools and, you know, start these programs up to indoctrinate people even earlier. That, I mean, how does that make you feel? Me personally, I think with everything that they've, you know, that's been tied up and linked to them, it's just more ways for them to get kids started even earlier on this path of hatred and just to be behind the scenes and fucking up the government for all of us in the future. Damn shame.
Turning Point USA.
The turnout was so bad that if we go back and re-watch that Fox News clip, they're actually showing you fake footage Well, it's not fake footage, it's real footage, but it's fake B-roll because it's from old Turning Point events.
You really can't make this shit up, folks, but you can make fun of it. So be sure to subscribe to the Really American Resistance to help us humiliate these hateful hypocrites. And as if all of this MAGA influencer indoctrination drama wasn't already piping hot enough, I do have a massive update on the Benny Grinder Johnson gay scandal MAGA civil war situation from yesterday later in the video, which fittingly is a mouthful, just like Benny likes it, allegedly.
But you see, Benny, it's really easy for anyone to admit that they have sex with men outside of marriage.
But let's first start here with Erica Kirk.
We have to protect all men in America, especially all white men in America.
Whoops, sorry, mixed up my footage there. Understandable mistake. The resemblance is uncanny.
Don't let anyone disenfranchise you because you're a young man, especially a young white male man.
Yeah, as I covered last month, that was her.
I'm sorry. Well, we'll go back because this is ridiculous, right? Me as a parent, obviously your kids, well, I wouldn't allow this, right? So Club America, whatever this thing is, if they had any ties to TPUSA, I wouldn't allow my kids to be in that. That's just me personally. But this young man right here, right, is obviously not a young white man. How do you feel in that moment when clearly she's making it a point to highlight others as the main, you know what I'm saying? These are the ones we really need to support and we really need to bolster up. Look, I get it, man. I don't get it. I don't get why you would highlight the one group. Look at everybody that's behind you, right? You got almost, well, not half, but you got a whole bunch of young females too. How you think they feel? Like it's weird. Me personally, it doesn't make any sense. You're so exposed for being a piece of shit and pushing a narrative, man. This is not for their whatever. It's not for nobody's benefit, man. I don't understand why you support this. I don't get it.
Especially a young white male man.
Yeah, as I covered last month, that was her highly controversial and failed attempt to indoctrinate a high school in Arkansas into joining the Turning Profit USA MAGA money cult.
Today, Governor Sanders has flown in Erica Kirk to announce an abuse of her state power. They will attempt to force ideological, partisan, political clubs into public high schools and universities across the state.
And somehow, this second attempt in Phoenix went way worse.
Erica Kirk is set to be a guest speaker right here at Pinnacle High School next Friday. The school sent a letter to parents saying there would be increased security that day. That was enough to upset some parents who contacted 12 News. And some students told me they may just skip school that day because of their own safety concerns.
Right, because nothing says pro-life like putting high school students' safety at risk so you can turn a profit at their school.
I don't know why she's coming here, to be honest. I think the topics that she talks about is too extremist for a school. I think there's better representatives that we can have.
That was Pinnacle High School senior Francisco Sanchez. He and other students told 12 News the campus was abuzz on Wednesday. Word spread that Erica Kirk, who now leads the conservative Turning Point USA, was coming to speak for Club America, a youth group for her organization. Erica Kirk on Tuesday pulled out of a huge Turning Point event in Georgia with Vice President J.D. Vance. A Turning Point spokesman said she had received some very serious threats. On Tuesday, Pinnacle High School, part of the Paradise Valley School District, sent parents this letter. It said Kirk would share her personal journey and life experiences with club members, and the event would be optional only for club members and one invited guest. The letter also said we will have an increased security presence on campus during the event.
I just think it's a little crazy because I would have never expected someone like her to show up at a high school.
That's senior Cassandra Acosta.
Yeah, come on, it's weird. It should not be a thing. It shouldn't be a thing. I don't think anywhere, but whatever. Not at a high school. It doesn't make any sense.
I'm pretty shocked at it, honestly. I'm surprised it's even happening.
Paradise Valley School District officials declined interview requests. Turning Point also did not respond for comment.
Like, it would be bad enough if she hadn't already been caught giving off big groomer energy. But my sister in Christ, your husband was murdered at one of these events. You are putting children at risk. And like, not to bully a high school student on the internet here, but the only one who had anything positive to say was the one white kid with the Boeing hat.
Another student, Tyler Jackson, told us he appreciated Erica Kirk coming to his school.
It's good to bring awareness to the mission that her husband had. I think it's good to have people hear another perspective.
Which, let's be honest, is not totally on him, right? Especially if he's being fed like the right-wing loser alpha male type of content. He might not know how big of a fucking grift Turning Point and their politics are. I mean, look at what Candace Owens exposed.
They're actually showing you fake footage. Well, it's not fake footage, it's real footage, but it's fake B-roll because it's from old Turning Point events. This is how sloppy the Hasbro is. We'll show you this. We'll scroll here. Not the venue. Not the venue. And yet in the corner, it says Andrew Colvett via X on Tuesday because it says Athens, Georgia. This is not true. This is true propaganda. And we took a closer look at it, and they actually spliced together 3 separate events so that they could show something of substance when Andrew spoke. That is humiliating. That is humiliating. And he's there pitching a story, a sad story about why they couldn't do it because it's your guy's fault.
Yeah, that is humiliating. But like I said, this also couldn't have come at a worse time for the MAGA money laundering cult of intellectually dishonest online influencers.
I don't think people understand how bad the last few days have been for MAGA online influencers. Recently, MAGA creator and Elon Musk's baby mama, Ashley St. Clair, dropped a bombshell on Twitter, explaining into great depth how coordinated the MAGA online ecosystem is. She became a Turning Point USA operative when she was just 19 years old. St. Clair goes on to say that
So, and like obviously based on everything that they've been reporting on so far, there's a move to get, 19 wasn't soon enough, right? That wasn't early enough. We need them earlier. We need people indoctrinating and spreading the gospel as they see it earlier. We're talking high school.
Most MAGA influencers are corralled in group chats and unleashed on Twitter with positions, campaigns, and propaganda that they are hired for like any other content creator campaign. Most of these campaigns are paid by consulting firms that don't have to disclose these expenses to the FEC because they aren't considered a goods sold transaction. She goes on to say that 99% of...
And that's what, a lot of these influencers and talking heads and stuff like that, that's what they always accuse Democrats of, that it's bots, paid actors and things of that nature. And, they're just telling on themselves, right? Not saying it doesn't exist. It exists on both sides, but one side is just screaming about it at, from the top of the rooftop, you know what I'm saying? Then they're probably one of the more guilty parties, right? They're accusing the other side of doing this a lot more. And I mean, she's exposing that. Yeah, no, that's what they've been doing the whole time.
MAGA influencers online that you see are paid or receiving some form of compensation for their actions. These paid statements could be for a war, to prop up a politician, or even a scripted response to stuff like, let's say, the files. These are marching orders. There is zero free thinking here.
Which, that's not a shock, right? I mean, it's crazy to hear it spoken, but, we fucking knew. Which, by the way, real quick, just humble brag here, I guess. I really appreciate how we can be so honest with all of y'all online and just how much you guys appreciate it, because we've never taken money to fucking shoot talking points for the Democrats or the obviously not the Republicans, but I don't know. I just appreciate that y'all just appreciate the integrity that we have here at Really American. Nobody's telling me what to say on the internet, and it's cool that y'all will still listen. Anyway, sorry for gushing. I just appreciate you all. But to cap this off, here is the latest video from Ashley St. Clair in the Benny Grinder Johnson gay scandal saga that we covered yesterday, where she absolutely goes the fuck off. And like I said yesterday, whether what she's saying is true or not, which again is very credibly alleged,
everybody knows what went on with Benny Johnson in those lobbies and in those hotel rooms at SAS. Everybody knows. I don't. No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Men. Younger men, not underage. At least I don't know that. His
Okay,
wife,
wait.
his wife was crying drunk in the lobby 3 sasses in a row about how her husband was upstairs with boys.
The whole reason I even give a shit about this drama or want to talk about it is because it is so cathartic and so prophetic watching MAGA tear themselves apart from the inside because they're all paid influencers by foreign governments or arms of the alt-right pipeline. None of them actually mean any.
And that's why when you pay attention to some of the things that they say, like really pay attention to it and do any form of critical thinking, like it's so ridiculous. Like a lot of these, the way they formulate their argument and their talking points and stuff like that, it's so ridiculous that you if you have a brain cell, like you get that they don't fully believe this thing, that it's all a plot, it's all a plan to stay on their side of it. You know what I'm saying? The conservative side on it. I'm going to have a specific take. You know what I'm saying? Like none of this is serious. So I hope if anybody is critically thinking that they would be able to see, okay, yeah, you're full of shit. Like, wasn't it just the other day, the guy, there was a guy on Fox News or something like that, like, since the term taco has come up, which, I don't know if it's as clever as everybody thinks it is, but whatever, taco. And he was like, well, how about nacho? I'll splice in what it means. But yeah, nacho. He tried to get that off. Like, these people aren't serious. It's not serious. It's all for clicks. It's all for show. It's all just to get attention. That's all it is.
Fucking thing they say. None of it is authentic. And this is such blatant hypocritical proof.
Since I came out about Benjamin Grinder Johnson, people have been threatening to expose me, so I'm just gonna do it myself. In case you didn't know, I've had sex with men outside of marriage. And in college, I used to, not only would I smoke weed, but I would mix it with, they call it a spliff actually, but you see, Benny, it's really easy for anyone to admit that they have sex with men outside of marriage. We all like to get our whistle wet, okay? I'm less interested in that though. I think everyone will be very interested in your financials and the story of how Benny Johnson came to be in the first place. TTFN.
Fuck all these self-hating, hypocritical homophobes. Benny Johnson, I'd tell you to suck my dick, but I don't want you knocking down my door. Erica Kirk, quit while you're ahead, girl. Stop trying to groom these kids into your fucking cult. But you know what? Candace Owens and Ashley St. Clair, much as I may disagree with them on a fundamental level, y'all keep doing what you're doing, okay? They got a little anarchist fire in them, and I'm digging it. Anyway, that is the story for now. Be sure to be subscribed to stay in the loop. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hess. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Get on your feet!
Yeah, so obviously that's the end of this one. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I obviously love to see them at the infighting and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I disagree with all of it, man. This is wild. And why does it seem like so common for a lot of these, very influential Republicans and or conservatives are living these weirdo double lives of these twisted fetishes and gay, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, why do you have to align yourself to a party that you have to hide yourself from? It just seems, I don't get it. I'm too old for all this shit, man. But that's going to be it. If y'all learned something from the video, y'all make sure y'all share it with your people. Keep the information flowing. Keep the conversation going. And until next time, I'll holla at you.
Enemy, I pop out, they go wild, so celebrity. Too busy winning, I forgot that I got frenemies.